ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NJPW Puroresu Review. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right over here, it's the DDT princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
I am doing great, Andre. We were just talking backstage here before we came on. I've been watching some DDT to kind of give myself a little break from the tournaments as I was doing my dish. I thought I was crazy cupcakes. Holy hot diggity dang. They got some crazy ish over there that I need to keep watching because it amuses me. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing very crazy cupcakes right now. So, and remember, it's one word. We established that on
It is.
Saturday. It's one
It is
word.
one word. It is always one word.
I'm doing good. Good day off today. It's Sunday as we record this. It was a good day off. Had some good news happen today. Maybe some events made me happy. So
Hmm.
good day. Good
Hmm.
day overall. Good day overall.
I bet. Yeah, I bet.
Yep. We're not here to talk about the good stuff. We're here to talk about some great stuff
Well,
that happened a few days ago. A week ago, because it happened on August 10th, August 12th, and August 14th, and it's days 14, 15, and 16, the last 3 days of round robin action in the
mhm.
G1 Climax 34.
Yes. And holy shit, what a tournament we have had this year. Like, remember last year we were kind of like, this one's okay.
Mm.
It was only okay. This year was holy hacking crap. I feel like the right amount of people were introduced, the right amount of people were showcased, and the right people are kind of getting into the spots that they deserve to be in.
All but one, yeah, all but one guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
one
get
guy,
mad.
one guy didn't make it, and I was sad, but
That's fair. That's fair. We all have our favorites.
we do. We do. So we're going to get into that. Before we do that, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for coming out here, watching our videos. Whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, whether you're watching on Backbreaker Video, or you're listening on A Plus Productions on the wrestling feed. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are listening on A Plus Productions, thank you so much. Just subscribe to us in your podcast gadget. Give us some likes. We really do appreciate it. And check us out over on the Facebook page. And if you're watching on YouTube, whether it's Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, whether it's Backbreaker Video, thank you so much. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Don't forget to hit that, or don't forget to share us out to your friends, family, and crazy little people with the last name of Honda. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, jeez. I
Oh,
got
this is
DD,
going to be a fun one.
I got DDT on the brain now because Mel's also talking about it. So, what about that Honda?
Yeah. 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 I mean, there was some there. Antonio Honda he's a
Interesting.
character. He's a step above Yano.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah, he really is.
I'd love to see the two of them kind of get together and do something. I think that can make for some insanely fun times.
Oh yeah, but could you imagine how long that would be? Because like Antonio's matches go really, really long because of all the shenaniganisms that he does throughout the match. Could you imagine how long that match would be just between that and Yano's intro?
Just imagine that those two, but and then make it a three-way with Evil, so even more shenanigans.
Oh my God, it would be an hour-long match and you would maybe get like 10 minutes of wrestling.
I know that's why it would be so
It'd be
great.
like an episode of Raw.
There's more
Oh,
wrestling than
that's
that
mean. That's
now.
mean.
There's
There
more
is.
wrestling
There
there
is.
now. We're gonna get
Yeah,
into
now
it.
we're out of the dementia era.
Yeah, we're gonna get in. We're gonna talk some G1 Climax 34 starting with day 14. When we kicked it off, Oleg Bolton versus Konosuke Takeshita. Holy shit.
Who?
Bolton Oleg versus Konosuke Takeshita. Holy crap. This was a good match. Like, just phenomenal match. These two
Yeah.
killed it.
You gonna take us to the finish real quick on this one?
Yeah, I'm just going to jump to the finish on this one.
Mm.
I do have to give out one spot. There's some really cool spot here early on in the match. Takeshita has Bolton on the ropes, and he just elbows him in the face, like just throws that forearm and the elbow, just smacks him in the face. So Bolton just responds by grabbing him around the waist, turning and just throwing him across the ring with that belly to belly suplex. So good.
That was, yeah, where he ended up outside of the ring. That was also one of the spots that I also had written down. Yeah.
Yeah, just some beautiful spots in this match. I thought the two big men just smacking into each other, so good. At the end of this
Mhm.
match, Bolton hits a shotgun dropkick. He only gets one. Bolton gets him up on his shoulders, but Takeshi slips down into a roll up, but then hits goes to the power drive knee, but it's caught. Takeshi gets sent into the ropes, and he gets hit with the verdict. And Bolton follows it up with the kamikaze for the win.
Yes, yes. The other thing I wanted to mention was there was a German suplex by Oleg where he pretty much just dropped. Catching on the back of his head looked so good.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy. Yeah, I think I'll mention it later in the show, but yeah, both of these guys super, super impressive throughout this G1, especially for me, Takeshita, and we'll mention why later.
Okay.
Good, good match. Good match.
Yeah, we move on. It's Hanare versus Ren Narita. I thought these two actually had a really good, solid match. There's a lot of like good back and forth in here, and Narita
Mhm.
did get into some shenanigans as he's known to do. But yeah, I
Mhm.
thought strong match. Though we got to the end and it was just the usual from Mr. Narita of the Ren variety. Narita stops the Streets of Rage, slips down, runs him into the ref, hits him with the low blow, hits the up kick to the face, and hits a double cross for the win. And Newman is on commentary, and he's just like, he's got nothing for this because he's just not happy.
Wow. It's unfortunate that it's a cheating win. And then even more unfortunate with Hanare being the never open weight champion.
Mm,
That being said, though, I feel like we are starting to plateau with Narita a little bit. He's done a lot of character growth, a lot of kind of figuring out his character over the last
mm,
few months, especially having his like whole pretty much gimmick jacked by Jack Perry there for a little bit. Um,
yeah,
I feel like he's climbed as high as he can right now, and that we are starting to see him plateau a little bit, which is why I think we're starting to see the shenanigans a little bit more. And I think with this potential opportunity here, I feel like a singles title would be the next reasonable step for Narita to actually kind of solidify him as coming back as a like one of the Three Musketeers. I don't feel that the six-man championships really did anything to elevate him.
no.
Didn't really devalue him, but it didn't elevate him either. I feel like a run with the Never title could be something that could help him out a lot.
Yeah, he had the wrong never title, is what he had.
Agreed. But for the time that he had it and the character he was, it was the right one. Because you can imagine, my
Mm,
words did not come out there. Could you imagine the Katsuyori Shibata version of Red Narita as the never open weight champion? That
no.
would have been not good. That'd have been as underwhelming as Sonata's run with the IWGP Championship.
Like in the ring, that would have been some fire ass matches. Don't get me wrong, but the
Oh, yeah.
guy had nothing as a
Mhm.
character, and I love Shibata. I think Shibata, while being a very stoic face, he has this weird underlying charisma to him that
Mhm. It's an
that
effortless
he
kind.
like he could just be the wrestler, and he just turn, but he has that ability to turn his face into that perfect look to get you to
Mhm.
care, and he knows how to fire up when he needs to. Where Narita didn't quite have that before turning heel. So
Mhm.
yeah, there is one
Mhm.
spot in this
Exactly.
match I do want to talk about.
Mhm.
So Hanari is going for Ultima, and Narita ends up like grabbing at the ref, and the ref just hauls off to slap Narita, and Narita ducks, and he slaps the shit out of Hanari, and Hanari is just turns on the ref, ready to kill him.
'Cause it was Marty, wasn't it? It was Marty.
I think it was Marty. Yeah.
And so the smallest freaking ref of all of the refs, first of all. But Marty is one of the more ballsy ones in regards to if you put your hands on him, chances are he will fight you back.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was great. That was great.
His light flashed before his eyes.
Yeah. We move on to an absolutely killer match in Hiroki Goto
Mm.
versus El Phantasmo. Phantasmo's rocking that light that does light that lit the jacket all lit up now. And man, like it's a whole different version of ELP now that the jacket's lit up. He's got so much more fire. The picture looks weird because it looks like his nose is super red though. Doesn't it look like his nose is like
Yeah, a little
yeah.
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
mean, Goto does
man,
look like he has black eyes though too, so
that's true. Might just be the shading on this one. But yeah, dude,
yeah.
these two killed it. And the going back and forth was so good. Just
Mhm.
like ELP that top off the top turnbuckle with that moonsault to the floor at one point.
Yeah, so good.
Damn. And
Mhm.
Goto's just he's got so much fire. He's showing so much heart in this tournament. It's just so good, man. And they called it he hit the inverted GTR into the Goto bomber. They even yelled Goto bomber.
Yes, they did.
I loved it.
Phenomenal.
I loved it, man. But these two, sorry, ELP, man, I love that he's gotten rid of the unidentified flying opponent where he used to tie the guy up, put him on his shoulders, and spin. Now he does the same tie up, but just goes into the burning hammer instead. I love that I kind of like that he got away from the spin out into the burning hammer now.
I can understand that because the G1 is kind of like don't want to like devalue the junior, but it is the big boy leagues, and that kind of spin is definitely more I would attribute to a junior style move. I would like to maybe see him add maybe one or two rotations though, instead of like go for like a whippity 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 whippity. Maybe
Yeah,
one or two rotations before the burning camera would be cool.
that would be good. So the end of this match comes. ELP loads up sudden death, but ends up not being able to get it. So he lifts Goto up, but he slips and Goto hits a headbutt and hits a Ushikaroshi. Goto goes up and gets up and hits the chest kick and the GTW, but again only two. GTR gets reversed into a backslide, and ELP finally hits sudden death. They trade roll ups, and ELP catches a crucifix for the 3 count and the win. ELP
Yeah.
ELP does the sportsmanlike thing and helps Goto up, and they do have a hug, which is nice to see. The kind of because they were enemies for a while with their whole tag war.
They weren't at that time in the same weight class, I don't think.
Mm.
Um,
Well, no,
but
they
yeah,
competed over
were they?
the titles last year. Remember, they had that
Oh,
like
right. Hikuleo,
yeah
Sorry, I was
yeah.
thinking Ishimori.
Mm.
Sorry.
No, no, yeah,
Yeah, I have to remember how long Bishamon has kind of been around also.
too
They've
long.
kind of lingered and lingered and lingered and lingered and lingered.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. This was a fun one for me too. I was excited to see the jacket lit up, and I really, again, I love the story that was told in this G1 with both of these guys. And it made this match for me, especially with the combination of commentary with Newman and Walker Stewart. I was gonna call him Stuart Walker. I was gonna pull a U with poor Oleg Bolton.
That's his real name.
I know, but that's not what his name is in the company, you doof. Anyway, back to the stories. The stories through this G1 for both these guys have been tremendous. So the sense of urgency for both of them in this match was just incredible. Again, the combination of the commentary, the combination of these guys and the backstage storytelling, it was such a great match. And it for me felt like a little bit more of an emotional match as opposed to just another match in the round robin. It
Mm.
felt like it meant a little bit more despite standings and points and stuff like that. It was like Whoville, the Grinch,
Yeah,
meant a little bit more.
yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
So we move on to Jeff Cobb versus Dave Finley in an incredible match. These two, I really felt like the first half of this match was Finley trying to overcome the power advantage that Cobb had, and then he kind of
Mhm.
went into like he's cheating ways and like going for the eyes when he got him out to the floor, and doing that kind of stuff, and he ends up like tackling Cobb through the barricade door. He gets him back in. He's got him on his knees, and he's just landing in those crossface shots from behind. Like just, like he just got so vicious, and he finally got in control. But like Cobb just
Mhm.
tossing Finley around early on in the match was so beautiful. Um, yeah, Finley. Finley just beat doing a lot of work, but Cobb ended up getting the rampage at one the rampage like move. The Hanari it looks like the Hanari's rampage. He does it too, where he
Yeah, yeah,
scoops
yeah.
him up and slams the guy. But
Mhm.
he drops that elbow after that. This looks so
Yeah.
good, and then he hits the standing moonsault for two. So Finley stops the Aloha Maker with some huge elbows, and he ends up busting out the acid drop, which he hasn't hit since the Juice Robinson days, I want to say, because
Yeah.
because he had that move as his finisher, and then he replaced it with Trash Panda, which kind of his thing is
Mhm.
his move when him and Juice broke up until he went heel. His move was Trash Panda, and
Mhm.
which is now into Oblivion. But yeah, I was like, holy crap! It's been years since I've seen him do an acid drop.
Right. Right, and
Yeah,
I think they mentioned that on commentary also.
they did. So the end of this match comes. Cobb hits a back body drop, then takes him out with a huge lariat, but the Aloha Maker gets blocked. Cobb gets the backslide, but Finley rolls through into a power bomb. He hits another one, lifts him up. Overkill for the win. This broke my freaking heart, man. I was hoping Cobb could solidify himself into the playoffs with a win here.
Yeah, yeah. But we've been seeing this savage build at the tail end of this G1 from some David Finley. And he's just kind of risen to every kind of challenge and occasion that's kind of been put in front of him. There was one point where he got him up for an Irish curse, where Finley got Cobb up for an Irish curse. And
Mhm.
I was like, oh, Cobb's not winning this. He just proved he can pick him up.
Mhm.
He could do it. He could take him. Incredible match. Incredible match. And we saw another kind of step in the evolution of Finley getting closer and closer to the end there.
We did. We
Hmm.
really did. And again, like Finley just so smooth. It's just it's so good everything that he does. He has this just ability to just make you hate him but make you just want to see more.
Hmm. Hmm. Kind of sounds like our local favorite, Andy Anderson.
Yeah.
Healiest heel that's ever healed in the history of healing.
Yeah, and I find Finley is that same kind of heel, just that heel that makes you want to see more and more and more.
While simultaneously hating him. It's great.
Yep, yep. So we move on main event, and in what was a great match until one point in this match, these two just killed it. Again, really showing why these two can, and showing why Yui Mura is surprising us in this tournament. He's living up to what the potential that was there for him. He's finally living up to it in this tournament. We've been raving about him all
Hmm.
tournament long, and even here he
Hmm.
was so good. And like Suji and the Boston Crab with Yuri Mura, and just that whole story they were telling, and he finally getting him in the Boston Crab, but can only hold on to it with because he doesn't of his arm being like getting beat on
Hmm.
throughout the match. Just to come the way they told the story with these two in here. Um, and then he gets the Boston Crab on, but then he turns it into a clover leaf at one point in the match. It's just a great story they're telling. But at one point in this match, Uemura started to have a dead right arm. It just became a floppy mess. Like we don't know what the extent of his injury is, but it's either in his elbow or in his shoulder because something
Hmm.
was not right. It was really
Hmm.
floppy, is what I noticed.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
when I dislocated my shoulder, I could still move my elbow and I could still move my hands and stuff. It was difficult, but I could still move it. I couldn't flop it up. The muscles were not there.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It sucks so bad. I think I mentioned this before in Japanese Wrestling Update. I feel the same bad for Yuya that I felt for Yo finally facing Sho for the IWGP Junior Championship and dislocating his what was it? His shoulder within like a few minutes of the
Not
match
even
starting.
the official match time was only like a minute, but they
And
had
like
done some
same thing,
crazy shit on the outside for a minute or two before that too.
Yota Nakashima, same thing, facing ironically Yuya Uemura before his excursion with his elbow.
Mm-hmm.
Caboers.
Caboers. Yeah, but they did wrestle a little more. Suji getting a lot of the offense in, striking him. He gets the Marlow Crash, only gets two. He lines up for Gene Blast, but it's stopped with an arm drag using the other arm by by uh, by Uemura. He gets a crucifix for two. They start trading strikes, and Uemura it seems like it was like a finish they called on the fly because it seemed like almost out of
Odd.
place that he just pulled him, like they were trading strikes and then he just pulls him down into a small package for the win because I figured like the strike's supposed to happen. He was probably supposed to catch both the arms into deadbolt, hit that deadbolt suplex for the win. I'm guessing in something of that fashion because they're into the strikes and then he just rolled them up, he just small packages them for the win. So
Mhm,
odd ending to what should have been a very insane main event.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, yeah, it was a very odd ending. It felt very off. There was a little bit of confusion kind of going on, but they always handle these kind of odd endings very, very well in this company and like only these kind of diehard fans I think really notice because the same thing happened with Okada and Ibushi. Remember when Ibushi
Mm.
sky sparkled his face and
Oh, I remember.
yeah, wasn't that a G1 also, or was that the Cup?
No, that was the G1 with Okada. I think it was the G1 Finals with Okada.
Yeah, dang it. Ah, Yoda goes on though.
Yeah. He's still Yoda Tsuji's still in contention at 8 points after this night. So you have
Mhm,
David Finley, Jeff Cobb, and Ren Narita on top with 10 points. Then you have Yoda Tsuji, Hiroki Goto, and Konosuke Takeshi each with 8 points. And you have Hanare, Yuya Uemura, Bolton Oleg, and El Phantasmo. Oh no, sorry. Yuya had four. Sorry, Yuya had 8 points here too. I apologize for off this win. But
mhm,
he is officially eliminated for the tournament because he cannot score another win due to him withdrawing. So his match with Oleg Bolton Oleg will officially go to Bolton Oleg for the point win. So he is eliminated along with Hanare and Bolton Oleg and El Phantasmo. Right now, always 6 points, and Bolton will get to 8, but he is still officially eliminated.
mhm,
So we move on to night or day 15. Um, and we kick it's A block. We kick it off. It is Gabe Kidd versus Cal Newman, and holy moly, Kid's like yelling into the camera, calling Newman an Osprey wannabe, calling like saying he's not good enough. And Newman just comes flying out of the ring, hitting him with a tope suicida. Then he comes off the top with a flying knee to the head. It looked like.
mhm,
Gets him back in, hits that corner drop, kicking the hop up stomp. Uh, Oscutter stopped, and just a bunch of reversals. Really good here.
mhm,
Kid really working him over throughout the match, but Newman getting a lot of offense in throughout here too. Um, so the ending of this comes. Each one's dodging the other's moves and doing a bunch of reversals. Kid ends up missing a move. It hits an elbow. Hits an elbow. Newman backflips over him, like as he come in, backflips over into a German. Look, just tremendous. He goes for the Oscutter, but Kid catches or stops him with the double chop to the back. And then he hits him with two pile drivers, and he gets the win in 4 minutes and 51 seconds. This was a short match.
mhm, mhm. Given the intensity of the feud happening between these still two factions still very clearly, um, yeah, I was expecting it to either go to the time limit or to to be pretty quick. Um, I was very impressed with how much Callum did keep up with Gabe Kidd, though. Not to say that he couldn't, he's a Prince of Pace, but Gabe Kidd is known for, kind of plucking people down and throwing people around kind of thing. So I was very impressed with him being able to pop off a lot of his stuff before Gabe Kidd got a hold of him. Um, the after stuff is what kind of bothered me the most, though, was after the match when Kidd pulled out the chairs and pile drived Callum on the chairs. That was a little unnecessary, but I feel like it was character development for Kidd coming
Mm,
to the kind of end of the G1 here. So
mm,
it just sucked. Didn't want to see Callum get beat up. And what sucked even more is like Hanare showed up at commentary right as it was ending. And it's
mm.
like, dude, you couldn't have come out a few minutes earlier.
Yeah, it was odd. I was like, okay, why you're showing up at the end of the match? Okay,
Right?
this is your
Like I saw
boy.
him sitting there, like I saw kids sitting on the chair in the middle of the ring, and then I hear this, what did I miss? It's like, dude, what?
You missed your boy getting the shit kicked out of him. Like, dude,
Exactly. You
like,
had
come
one
on,
job,
dude.
Nari. One job.
And so we move on. Sonata versus Zack Sabre Jr. Let's go. This match was good. Sabre's already guaranteed first place overall in the A block, but can solidify it and just make himself a god in professional wrestling if he does this and if he can get the win here. Sonata out wrestling Sabre early on in this match, getting kind of
Mhm.
keeping the advantage early, but these two really good. Like I thought these two had a really good smooth transitions throughout, flowing from move to move in here. Sabre stopping the TKO into that foot neck snap and then falls with that drop kick to the back of the neck. Look so good.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I love Sonata missing with a shining wizard, but he ends up catching a kick and hits a beautiful looking dragon screw to Sabre. Just such smoothness in what they did here. Um, Sabre catching the rounding body press at one point into the arm bar, then into that double arm bar, then it's got like trapping the legs and like just crucifixing through the arm. Gets a double like the crucifix double arm bar, but like Sonata getting to the just looks so good. Just the transitioning, and then they go into that part where they so O'Connor roll into Euro clutch, into O'Connor roll, into Euro clutch. It's just that back and forth with both using the same move there. I loved it. And then
Mhm.
end of this match comes Shining Wizard by Sonata. Deadfall is stopped, but Sonata gets the moonsault and the moonsault out of the corner into the skull end, and then they're each switching into the skull end of their own. Uh, and then Sabre gets out of it eventually, but Sonata goes for deadfall, but Sabre reverses it, catching and then he catches Sonata running as he shoved him off, and he hits the Zack driver for the win. 14 points, baby. 14 points.
It's funny because like when you're getting excited, and this only happens with like a handful of wrestlers on NJPW, you say you go into the end and we get like the last like five notes in one really amazing long run-in sentence connected by and then and but and then and but. I love it. It's your passion for this sport is evident, my friend.
Thank you.
Um, what do you add to that? I mean, Zack Sabre Jr. has this amazing ability with the cocky attitude that he has to give people who lack charisma like Sonata charisma. It was great. Like we have been seeing Sonata maintain a certain level of charisma that he usually doesn't in the G1, but this was a kip up in the flow chart there. This was a hiccup. This was a blip in the heart monitor of Sonata. He's alive, you guys. He's alive. Somewhere in there.
Not anymore because
Good
he's
match.
dead. He's dead and out of this tournament.
Well, might have something to do with the boots or something. I don't know. Bad luck charm.
We move on. Shingo Takagi versus Jake Lee. Holy crap. This is two dudes that are so used to being the dominant power force in a match and hitting like Lee with his giant killing knees and Takagi with his pumping bombers and lariats and just running into each other. And just how each person would hit each other is really how this match went. I loved how
Mhm.
these two just were blocking each other's big lariat or big knee and hitting theirs. I love the way they did that in this match.
Mhm, mhm. Something that really, really helps also is Shingo Takagi is very, very expressive with his facial expressions. Same with Jake Lee. It's kind of, I feel, where both of their kind of charisma doesn't begin, but it's a symptom of the grander scheme of these two characters. Yeah, the story that was kind of told in this that was just kind of made out of nothing. Two big meaty men hitting meat, trying to establish dominance. It was perfect.
Yeah. There's a great spot towards the end where Lee goes for a face break shot in the corner, but Takagi kind of ducks it and like pulls him up onto his shoulders out of the corner in
Mhm,
and hits him with the Death Valley driver. Oh, so good.
mhm,
But the
mhm.
the the ending sequence to this match, Shingo gets Lee up to the top. It's that superplex. Uh, he goes for the pumping bombers. Shingo gets a headbutt. Lee hits a kick to the head. Shingo goes into the corner, but he comes right back out with a pumping bomber and grabs the legs, cradling, and gets the 1, the 2, and the 3 to keep himself alive.
And what I love about this is Leah's so good with it. He's trying to kick out. You can see there's attempts being made, but he just doesn't quite have the strength. Again, it's the subtle storytelling, that subtle psychology of someone who's just got so much experience. Smart bastard.
Mm.
Appropriate name.
Oh, like the way these two did this was just amazing. And then Lee getting
Mhm.
out, like yelling at the ref, gets out of the ring, yells at the ring announcer as he's announcing
Marty
Takagi as
again.
yeah, and gets out yelling at the ring announcer because he's mad about the ring about it being called for Takagi, and then he gets back in and starts attacking Takagi when the ref's raising his hand, and like everybody has to pull him off, and it was just well, getting taken
Glorious.
out here, they gave him such ability to like be such a good bad guy going forward because he's such a dick.
Did we put him on the wrong Bullet Club? No, I think he's gonna fit in with War Dogs just fine.
Yep, I think so. I think so. I don't know if if you're just talking like Chase Owens and Kenta's Bullet Club side part. I don't know if he'd fit in quite as well with them.
I don't know if they really quite fit in with them. They just kind of go from group to group, don't they? The Bullet Club.
They're just
They work
Bullet
with
Club.
both.
Yeah, like the look. Those guys are like because remember, there's Bullet Club and then there's Bullet Club and then there's War Dogs.
Mhm.
Right? And there's Bullet Club around the War Dogs. So
And then, yeah, go Bang Bang Booty Gang and ABC and
they're like they have those like they're like they're like little offshoots that have like the little lines connecting them to the group.
you need a flowchart to keep up with Bullet Club.
Yeah, you really do.
You you really do.
So we move on to a match. It was good, I guess. Evil making the announcer read a statement about how Umino isn't here, or some shit, but it's all garbage. Because music hits and he makes his way out, fights Evil and Togo, running Evil into the barricades, and they get in. And we get it, but Evil taking over using the exposed corner and working him over for a good way of the match, cheating throughout, using his little dick and everything. Um, well, his little dick Togo. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and just and Shota with some great comebacks here. Like again,
Mhm.
he has that Tanahashi, he has that Naito fire when they go into their comebacks, and he has that ability. But I wish he had that fire all the time. Is my biggest thing
Mhm.
with him. I wish he had that fire all the time.
Mhm. It would certainly set him apart from the people he's trying to emulate, maybe make him a little bit more relatable to the crowd.
Yeah. So, uh, Kanemaru comes out, or Togo, and the ref gets knocked out. Togo gets in, choking him. Umino. Kanemaru attacks too. Magic Killer. Kenta Sato runs the other guys off. Shota makes recovery, comes back, is winning. But then Sho makes his return, using his wrench to distract the referee. And this is where Yujiro gets involved and runs Shota into the ref. And we all House Torture. They're all back together. They they all, yeah, screw them. Like, they all attack him. We get dick to dick contact. Sakamoto's back in, but he only gets two. So the ref gets distracted. So Yujiro hits Big Juice and whatever, Pimp Juice. Sorry, Pimp Juice.
No, it was Big Juice. It was Big Juice.
No, Big Juice is the lifting one.
They were
The one
saying
from the
Big Juice on commentary.
no, because Big Juice is the big lifting impaler DDT. The snap
When they
one.
said Big,
I thought that one was Pimp Juice. Again, I'm not sure.
someone got juiced.
He hits one of the juices, but again, Evil can
He
only
got
hit two.
juiced.
Again, more interference. Shota hits the cutter out of nowhere. Daddy Red Shoes shows up, and they're making, and so he gets the knee. Shota gets the knee to the back of the head, and inverted Bloody Sunday. He goes in. He starts in on this finish, but then Evil comes back. He gets an Evil bomber. Everything is Evil is reversed. But my biggest, Evil hit the low blow and hit Death Rider, and I was like, I hate you so much right now. He only got two.
Yeah.
Umino reverses Everything is Evil. Everything is Umino. Hits an Emerald Explosion and Death Rider for the win. At least Evil didn't win, but this match was hard to deal with.
Yeah, it was one of those too many things is happening in one match kind of thing. If we wanted to review that Show was returning, that should have been the only shenanigery happening.
Shenanigery.
I'm
I like it.
I'm
I
trying
like it.
to figure out ways to shorten the shenanigans or figure out to put into proper English. I don't know. We're just going with it. We're Melballing. Um, yeah, there was far too much. It started to feel like the old House of Torture that we've always hated all along, and I didn't like it. Um, Especially when they had worked so hard to legitimize themselves before this tournament. And that to me was the G1 was 2 steps forward. This match was 1 step back for the progression of the team.
And this isn't even the worst of what House of Torture is going to do, because there's still the last night, and
I know.
oof.
Yeah.
We move on.
Infamous Shota is surviving though.
Yeah, again, Shota's doing really well and getting the
Mm-hmm.
comebacks here, looking really good. But again, just it's old House of Torture feel. I've been enjoying House of Torture for the last while, and now it's getting to feel like the House of Torture we were ready to just write off everything they were doing.
Mm-hmm. We can't have that again. Gato fixed it. Now they're reverting back. Whatever you fixed, go back to that. We can't have House of Torture being torture, especially with the comparisons we want to be able to make between them and Hate in Oedo Ties new kind of thing. They do look a lot more now like a House of Torture faction in there. Take some notes, boys. Those girls are doing it right. Figure it out.
Yeah. So we move on to the main event, which was an incredible match between Tetsuya Naito and the Great Khan. Khan really getting a lot of control throughout in this match, really working over Naito's legs, really working over that knee, those knee bars, just those twisting holds that he was doing. There was one where he's like he's like in like a cradle, but he's got a figure four in a cradle, and like it was this weirdest look. It was so cool. And then Naito just trying to make comeback after comeback, it just constantly going for that Destino throughout the match. If you really notice, he was
Mhm.
trying to hit it multiple times.
To no avail, too.
Yeah,
Khan had that scouted.
yeah. There was a beautiful spot where Naito getting control though. He's attacking and he gets that Esperanza off the top and just spikes Khan. It looks so good.
Yeah, so good. That was
Yeah,
like classic Naito coming out there. That was like Naito from when I first started watching and he was yeeting around the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. So
yeah.
good.
It's the end of this match. Pump kick by Khan. He calls for the eliminator, but he gets victory rolled. Naito with an enziguri into Destino, but no, he only gets two. He goes for another Destino, but Khan reverses him into the flatliner, and the eliminator to eliminate Tetsuya Naito from the tournament and put himself into third place in the A block.
Yes.
Mm,
Boy, so happy about this.
mm.
I love me Tetsuya Naito. I couldn't be happier right now that he is the IWGP World Champion because that means John Moxley is not. So,
They talked
but
about that in this match.
I know they did. They did. And I'm very happy with how Naito's tournament has actually gone because he has had a very solid tournament. Despite taking losses, his matches have been very solid and very, very, very beneficial to the people who are winning over him. I thought this was great. It does certainly give Okan something to brag about too, being the KOPW champion, having a win over the IWGP World Champion, the highest, arguably the highest championship in New Japan. That's pretty impressive. He worked so hard for this win too.
Mm,
So hard. It was really, really interesting to see that, as you mentioned, the technicality at the beginning there. Naito doesn't typically do that. Like, he doesn't mind, like, doing mat work, but he's not used to that much mat work, I think. So it was really
mm.
fun to see him kind of taken out of his comfort zone, having to scramble a little bit to kind of work with Okan. I loved it. Great match.
Yeah, I agree. Uh, Quick point update at the end of the A block. We have Zack Sabre Jr. all alone, 14.7-2. Yes, yes, yes. Then Shingo Takagi and the Great Okan, along with Evil and Tetsuya Naito, all with 10 points. But Shingo Takagi and the Great Okan both have wins over Evil and Naito, and Takagi did beat Khan. So your first place is Sabre, your second place is Takagi, and your third place is the Great Okan. And then
I
Lee
did
said,
call Shingo.
you did.
Did call.
Yeah. And then you got Lee, Sonata, Kid, and Umino all with 8 points, and Newman alone in last with 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh man, it's just been a crazy tournament, man. So
Yep.
what a ride for Zack Sabre Jr. coming out from behind there. Having a bit of a rough start, but holy hot diggity dang, did he make a resurgence there?
Well, he had to win off Naito on the first. Was it? No, no, that was Takagi that
That was
went off Naito.
Shingo, yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. He did have a little stumble early on, and then yeah.
It was a little hickety-hoppy on the front part there.
Yep. But has had a beautiful end to the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So we move on. Oh, you got anything else? Sorry.
No, 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 I'm good. Let's go. Let's go,
Uh,
let's go, let's go, let's go.
the final night of block action, night number 16, day number 16, whatever you want to call it. Bolton Oleg defeats Yuya Uemura by forfeit due to Uemura's withdrawal due to his arm injury. So Bolton Oleg will end this tournament with 8 points tied and above Yuya Uemura because he has the tiebreaker victory.
Crazy.
I
Crazy
feel
how
like
that happens.
Uemura would have been in contention here at the end with the intent in the 10-point contention here at the end. Honestly, had he not gotten
Mm,
hurt, I think he would have. I think he might have got snuck his way in, but we don't know.
it's possible. We don't, though. You're right. We don't.
Yeah. So we get into our first of 4 block matches on this show. It's Haruki Goto versus Hanare. Holy poop. These two just smacking the crap out of each other in this match, man. Holy moly. The strikes
Mhm.
in this match from both these guys are so good. Lariats, the kicks, the headbutts.
Mhm. Always
Yeah.
scary, but looks so good.
Yeah, just so good. Couple Ushigoroshis are hitting this match. He gets one earlier in the match, and then he ends up getting one later on. Um, just some beautiful spots here. Hanari catching Goto running into a really good looking berserker bomb. He gets the rampage gets stopped with a choke at one point, which was actually a really cool like reversal into the choke. I like that.
Mhm.
Um, and then Streets of Rage, just a little after, like he gets a native knee in the corner. He goes for Streets of Rage, but he Goto slides down to get a rear naked choke, and he's fading. And instead of just holding the choke, Goto lets go to get the PK and the GTW, but only gets 2. And I'm like, you could have just held on and passed him out.
He could have, but that's not how Goto usually works. Goto likes to have a
Dumb
power win.
moments. Dumb moments.
This we'll say this was a hiccup. This was a poor choice.
Yeah. So Goto hits the in this match, or toward the ending sequence of this match. Goto hits the chest kick, but Hanari right back up, hits him with Rampage for 2. Streets of Rage is stopped, and Goto goes for a suplex. That's stopped. They trade headbutts, which were just sick. Goto dropping, and Hanari just throws a few more. Goto tries to hit a misdirection lariat, but Hanari avoids it and hits him with that leaping headbutt and then picks him up. Streets of Rage for the win and taking, and Hanari already eliminating Goto from the tournament.
Yeah.
Should have
I
choked
mean,
him
we
out,
knew that.
Goto.
Right. Right. Choices were made. They were not the right ones. He's learned. He's learned from that one. Hold on to the choke. Um, yeah. I don't have a whole lot to add to this one. This was that I felt like almost like a full circle kind of match for Hanare, being that Goto's career has extended a little longer. He's seen it, Hanare through his Aaron Hanare days, his Toa Hanare days, when he was a part of Hontai. So I feel like this was like a full circle and a crossroad for Hanare. I feel like it was important, not just to try to eliminate Goto from the G1. I don't feel that they were fighting. Well, Hanare wasn't in this one. Goto obviously was. Hanare was fighting to be able to say he beat Goto,
Mhm.
and that is a big accomplishment to be able to put out there. It's like next to Ishii. That should be your next step. Yeah, great match.
Yeah, I thought these two killed it here.
Mhm.
We move on to ELP El Phantasmo versus David Finley. Holy moly! In their corners are Jado and Gato. And this is a point I'm going to bring up in here. So like again, there's history here. Like Finley's kicked ELP out of the group. Like he was part of kicking him out of Bullet Club. He was part of taking him out of there. He claims it, and there's a lot of hatred between the two here, and it's ELP trying to get revenge throughout this entire match, and Finley trying to say, "No, you're not as good as me. You're not worth my time," while also trying to solidify himself at the top of the standings for the B block. He also wants to put
Mhm.
himself in that spot. So, like, just how hard they were just going at each other here was great. And I loved
Mhm.
the passion out of both guys here and almost Finley's desperation at points and
Mhm.
ELP's just constant, I'm not giving up throughout. I thought just absolutely phenomenal. So the
Mhm.
end of this match, CR2 gets reversed. Finley gets a deadlift into a buckle bomb, which looked great. He goes for a power bomb, but it's reversed by ELP with a sunset flip, and then he gets his own power bomb, then hits a CR2, then goes to the top rope. Thunder Kiss 86, but the ref gets pulled out by Gato. But Jado immediately runs over and shoves Gato down. And as ELP gets up to look, he sees Jado next to where the referee got pulled out. And ELP gets distracted and he's saying, "Did you just screw me, Jado?" Like he thinks Jado did it, which I get. And that's why I wanted to say Jado and Gato are here. And that
Mhm.
this is the little thing. It's like, and I think going through is like, oh, he's back with his old tag partner in Gato because they were a tag
Mhm.
team for years. So he's distracted. Finley comes out of nowhere with the shillelagh, hits overkill, and Finley gets the win. Again, really good match. The ending was interesting to see what kind of story they're telling here.
So, okay, real quick, while Andre's having fun with his microphone, I did want to also mention it wasn't just Gato and Shadow being a bit of a distraction at ringside for ELP there. His former World's Cutest Tag Team partner was also on Japanese commentary in Taiji Ishimori. And there was a bit of a standoff. You could see, ELP got out of the ring. They had a little look-see. It would be interesting to hear the what Ishimori had to say on commentary about the interaction there. But yeah, this was a very intense battle between two people who clearly did not like each other, and it was Finley scrambling almost to get away from ELP throughout the entire match, from the onslaught that he was just throwing at him. It was a great match. Let's let's get
But
on to the next match because I didn't have a whole ton of notes for this one, but I did for the main.
so yeah, we'll talk about this quickly. Kanatsuke Takeshi. I'm at the top of my notes. I just remembered I restarted my notes here too.
Oh,
Kanatsuke Takeshi versus Red Narita. Good match, but this is I'm mad because this is
yeah.
the worst House of Torture we've had all tournament long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, this match just pissed me off, and yeah, but at least okay, the finish comes that Takeshi reverses the double cross into a last right power bomb. Narita does pull a knee bar, readjusts center, but Takeshi works his way out into a German, hits a hard ass world class elbow, and Takeshi gets the win. But there was so much house torture interference in here, and
I
just
mean, Takeshka didn't even get to come out.
he was out, and then they brought Takeshi. They brought Takeshi out. Yeah.
Yeah. Rude. So rude.
Yeah, I just this uh
It annoyed me a lot. I was not very happy with this.
mhm.
I was happy that Takeshka won, but like as I'd mentioned before, the stuff that had happened in the last match where Show came back and it was just like it's now back to everything at once. And like, we know some people who feel they need to put every move they've ever learned in the history of their entire career into one 15-minute match, and it's exhausting. But like we can't have that with House of Torture. We can't. It's too much. It's too much even just having two of them at ringside and one of them's not doing anything. It's no bueno. Um, Something I did want to bring up a bit again about Takeshka though is how impressive he has been throughout this entire tournament. Like I knew he was good before on AEW, but it's such a thing that we always say here. It's like the NJPW version that we get of AEW people is phenomenal. But the AEW version that everybody gets is just kind of like, wow, wow. Like it's still good, but in comparison, it feels like a step up. And man, oh man, did Tony make a good decision sending over Takeshita for this tournament, because I think anybody else might not have put on as impressive a performance as Takeshita.
I agree with that fully. These two just like Takesha has had such a great tournament, and just
Mhm,
to end it, you can remember he ended it with a win. I'm happy he did a great job here.
mhm,
Ended the block matches with a win here, and puts himself possibly into the finals, depending on what the
mhm,
next match is. Puts himself into the playoffs, but like it just he's such a phenomenal talent, and I really want
mhm,
to push him harder when he comes back
mhm,
because this shows that he needs to be pushed into that top position.
mhm, mhm. Seeing him in this tournament made me realize how much talent he has that we aren't seeing on AEW. That still has to be unlocked for him. It's just a matter of are they going to let him shine it or is he going to have to take it back to other places that want it? I
Yeah.
really think it would be lucrative for them to let him do it on there, especially when he's already got other people who know that style and that he's working with,
Hmm.
like Kyle Fletcher, like Will Ospreay.
Yeah. Even a Jay White who can do it. You just haven't seen it as well of a performance from him since he was in Japan. But you know he has
Mhm.
performances in him because he's had them in Japan.
I mean, we could say that for a lot of people we've seen go from NJPW to AEW,
Yep.
Okada of the Kazuchika kind.
Yep. So we move on. Main event. Final match of block action. It's Yota Tsuji versus Jeff Cobb. Winner goes on. Loser does not. Damn. Holy crap, this match was good. These two just smacking the crap out of each other, reversing each other's big moves. Just so good throughout, man. And just
Mm,
he's trying to be the dominant factor. And Cobb, well, smaller in height, is usually a bigger man than most guys because of his pure size. But Suji's taller, but he's outweighed by Cobb here, and it's just these two just smashing into each other. He's trying to use their power on top, and it's so good.
mhm,
Catching each other into big moves throughout this match. Um, at the end of this, I'm just going to go to the end here, or towards the end.
mhm,
Suji trying to suplex him, hits this knockout forearm, gets his Falcon Arrow driver for two. He goes for the Marlowe crash, but it's stopped, and Cobb gets him up on his shoulders for F5000, but he's delayed on the pin, so he can only get two there. Uh, the tour of the island is stopped with a headbutt and then a knee strike, but Cobb lariats a Gene Blaster attempt. As he gets up, Tsuji hits a Gene Blaster to stop a tour of the islands, then lines up 3-point stance Gene Blaster, and Yota Tsuji eliminates Jeff Cobb and moves on to the semifinals.
freaking crazy. Freaking crazy. And he's another person to get, earn, potentially an NJPW TV title shot. I would love to see these guys go again because, yeah, the first part of this match was Suji definitely trying to test out the waters and see how much power he needs to flex on Cobb to get him to do anything. Um, Blocking the standing moonsault from Cobb was like, and when it's not fair on like two different tones and meanings there because it's not fair that a man the size of Jeff Cobb can just do a standing moonsault like nobody's business. And it's not fair that we didn't get to see it completed because Suji put his knees up. Um,
Business. Business.
Business.
Business.
The reversals, being like the series of reversals you mentioned, which is so crazy, so good, so amazing. The Falcon Arrow by Suji after like a knockout forearm by Cobb was unexpected and crazy. It was at that point where I was like, are they, is that going to happen? Is it, does that mean Suji's going to take cut? He just yeeted him up for a Falcon Arrow. They're freaking crazy. Um, there was that one point where Suji went for the Marlowe splash?
Marlow
Crash?
crash.
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 Crash. Crash.
Crash.
Crash. He
Crash.
went for the Marlowe crash. And then Cobb just kind of clotheslined him. Yeah, that was great. The Tour of the Islands, headbutt, you got that. It was the curb stomp. That was something I wanted to talk about. Yoda blocking the moonsault with the knees, and then he hops up and followed it up with the curb stomp. I love how Suji has taken the curb stomp and turned it into almost like a regular strike in his arsenal. We've seen it as a signature with people like Seth Rollins. I'm sure there's more people, but Seth Rollins is the only one coming to my brain right now. Um, Much like how local sensation Dalton Rogue has kind of turned the double stomp into something of a spectacle and regular move in his regular move set. Suji is doing the same thing with the curb stomp, and I'm kind of digging it. He does it in such a way that looks so great, but then the sequence that he does up into it is so perfect. His styling and is just so unique, so genuine to him. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Again, I thought amazing match to cap off this tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
So the final point totals: you have David Finley alone in first place, going through to the B block finals, and then you have Jeff Cobb, Ren Narita, Yota Tsuji, and Konosuke Takeshita all with 10 points. But you have Konosuke Takeshita in second, Yota Tsuji in third to round out your your B block semifinal block there. Holy moly!
Mhm.
A heck of a tournament, man. Like, just these blocks were just up and down. Everybody was alive at one point. It was just so good.
And like, look at the standing of that. The lowest points in here are 6. That's incredible. Usually we see someone much lower. So good. So good. I'm just proud. I mean, it's the wrong order, but I called the 3 in the B block. I'm pretty proud of myself there. Wrong order, but I'm happy. I'm
I had two.
happy. I'll take that bragging.
I had 2 out of 3.
Yeah, but it's not 3.
Yeah, but it's still 2 out of 3. Still,
That's like
it's still
75%. That's not 100.
it's 66.6%, madam.
Oh, I tried to give you more. Holy crap. Why would you do that?
Because math is math.
Well, you didn't have to do it right. This isn't high school. No one's marking you.
People watching this are.
I think the people watching this are doing the math either.
Yes, they are. Come on, they're all doing math. Everybody loves math. More
No,
math. More math.
no. What a tournament, though, man. What a
Oh,
tournament we have been given this year. So good.
so good.
Mm-hmm.
So good. So
So
good.
good.
I
I
want
got you.
more.
Bum, 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 bum.
I was changing up, going, I want more.
Mm, mm, mm.
Actually, I don't
Well,
want more.
we can't. I don't think that our sleep schedules could handle more, my friend.
No, it really can't, dude. I've only watched one day of 5 Star Grand Prix action because I've been so busy with other stuff that's just,
I feel that.
yeah.
I feel that. Let's go
So
watch some more.
let's go watch more. You can find me on the X at that Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at that Canada. You can find me on Facebook at Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk, and our YouTube page, youtube.com/ at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. You can also find us in audio form over at A Plus Productions. Check them out on their Facebook page. You get the links to the audio over there, so check them out. A Plus Productions on Facebook, and you can find all the links from there. Also, check out our friends over at Twitch, or at our local station over on Twitch and YouTube. Twitch for all the live content, and YouTube for all the replays and live content too. So check them out. And also want to give a shout out, or you can find me there on Fridays with Mel, doing Japanese wrestling update. And I'll be back in September on the 18th for Agatha all along. I know. Oh yeah, go to their YouTube page and watch this past Saturday's Mark interviews OLE featuring the beautiful Melball. And we got Melball. Melball cried they existed. Woo! We did it.
Yeah, you did, didn't ya, you brats?
We did it. We did it. Also, go shout out or check out our boy Mike the Ref on his Backbreaker video page where he simulcasts all of our stuff. Thank you so very much. You can check him out live at twitch.tv/Mike the Ref where he does his AEW watch alongs every Wednesday, Saturday, and pay-per-view Sunday. You can also find him playing games the rest of the week on his Twitch. And if you want to say replays of his game content, go to youtube.com/@Backbreaker_game where you can find content from him, Mr. PJC, this little dude right here, Rick Jules, and their frequent guests.
Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. We love Kayla J here.
Yes, we do. Melball, where can they find you?
If you're wanting to follow Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky. I'm Melball Collins. You can also find me, as Andre mentioned, on our local establishment's programming, Japanese Wrestling Update, every Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Unless it's not. And then we'll let you know on social media. I believe this Friday we are going to be live. We do not have any wrestling going on in Edmonton this Friday. Again. And we will be live at 8 p.m. Oh, yeah. You can also find me on Astro Bizarre's YouTube channel where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We are hopefully going to get an episode out very, very soon because, man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. The girl's in the middle of getting her promotion at work, so she's been busy. But we'll hopefully have one out for you very, very soon. So stay tuned to our socials to see when that is coming out. If you are wanting to watch New Japan Wrestling, we will leave a link in the description box below. It is njpwworld.com. It is a higher amount of yen, approximately 10 Canadian, because I love Sean Spears, but it's more like 14.50, according to this guy over here. Still amazing price to watch some amazing professional wrestling. And go back in there if you want a taster of what you could be getting into. All of the New Japan TV title matches are free on the site there, so go check those out before taking the plunge. Free imagination. Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
Nope, nothing at all. Nope. Yeah, I do. I want to thank each and every one of you, whether you're watching us on video or you're listening to us in audio form. Thank you so very, very much. Please, if you are listening in audio form, please like the video or like the audio over at A Plus Productions. We really do appreciate it. And if you're watching a video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Don't forget to share it out to your friends, family, and just crazy little kooky, crazy cupcakes. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello.
And that being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.